All right, I'm going to be turning these jugs that I made yesterday into face vessels. And I've applied the handle. And then I'm going to determine which way I want the face to be. Whether I want it facing this way with the handle behind it, or if I would like to have the handle as part of the ear and have the face here. I think today what I'll do is I'll have the handle towards the back and the face towards the front. And I've got my clay, and I've rolled out some tubes of clay that I'm just rolling out. When I make my face jugs, the first thing I do is I line up with the handle in line where the eyebrows are going to go. So, done it like so. And then using this tool right here, I press the clay onto the pot. Now somebody's probably saying, well, how come you're not putting some slip, which is really, really wet clay. It's very, very mushy. Why don't you put that down first? As long as you're working with the clay at the same wetness, this jug is about the same wetness as this clay that I'm adding to it, you're okay. You can slip some things if you really need to. So I usually put slip behind the nose, or I'll just wet. I'll score it and wet where the nose is because it's a larger piece. Use my sponge and smooth out. See? Smooth out. So those are the eyebrows. Then the next thing I like to do is before I do the eyes, I'll add on the ears. And basically it's the same technique. You use the eyebrows as a guide for where the ears will go. You press them on. Get my tool wet. Push the clay onto the pot. Same thing over here. I don't know if in this video you can pick up the sound of that mockingbird that's living out back. Seems to like to sing every other bird's song. He's pretty happy out back. Now, then the next thing I do is I apply the nose, and for that I am going to use the score. I'm going to score where I want the nose. And this is generally a larger tube of clay that I'll roll out. Into a cone shape. And then I will take my score tool, we'll put some water on it, and score that. And then apply the nose. And depending upon how I want his nose to look, hers, depends upon what kind of gender I'm making this jug. Sometimes I'll make them into girls and add lots of curlicues for the hair. Maybe pierce the ears, make it for earrings. Just something different. Face jug collectors like to collect different artists' work different styles. Mine runs in the more traditional style. I think I'll shorten up that nose a little bit. There we go. Now, that's really a skinny nose. So then what I do usually is I roll out a couple of balls of clay. And I will place them on either side of the nose. And then I'll take another ball, smaller ball of clay, and put that in the center, and then blend all of this together, creating the nostrils and so on. I don't want to make this video too long. I just want you to get the idea of how I make my face jugs. So I will work on the nose, but I want to show you the next part and how I do the eyes. And for this, I roll out the clay a little bit thinner than the others. Create a loop. And then there's one eye socket. I try to match them up. Then the other eye socket, which again, those will get pressed on. And then I will add a ball of white clay in the center for the eyes, and then a little tiny ball of brown to make the pupil. And then the very last part that I put on, and probably the most fun, is the mouth, because you can shape the mouth all kinds of ways. And this gives the personality. So you can make kind of a surprise looking mouth, or you can make him kind of grouchy and sad, or you can form it so that he's pretty happy. And then I add teeth, usually broken pieces of china. And so I'm going to work on this some more, and I'll show you the finished project.